Hey guys, welcome back to Mike's World. Today I'm going to show you how you can plug your own tire, get it all fixed up. If you have a nail, a screw, or something in the tire, I'm going to show you how to do that. But first, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed, like the video, leave a comment, and then hit that notification bell. You'll know every time I put up a new video. Okay, so you got a leaky tire, right? I've got a tire here on my Ford Ranger, and it's been slowly leaking. This morning I got up and it had 17 pounds of pressure in it. Should be 40, so I need to fix it. So you can go to a place like Discount Tire or Tire Discounters, and most of the time they'll fix your tire for free, and that's great. But there are certain things that they won't do because of liability reasons. So, and one of the things they don't do is they don't plug tires. They take the tire off and patch it from inside. But they're very picky about what jobs they will do and won't do. And so, but oftentimes, like a tire like this, I've got great tread. I don't want to replace my tire, so I'm left fixing it myself. Now, before we talk about plugging tires, the one thing you need to understand is that anywhere on the main part of the tread in the center here, this area, this works fine. It'll hold, it's great, and there's really not a problem. I've been doing this since I was 13 years old. I'm in my mid-40s now. I started working in my grandfather's garage, fixing tires all the time. But when you do get something punctured along the edge where the transition from the tread into the sidewall, you have to be very careful about that. So I had a nail, a screw right here in the corner on another tire, and took it to Discount Tire that day. They wouldn't fix it because of where it was at. So I went ahead and plugged it myself, and it held for 6 to 8 months. But one of the things, and they told me this would happen, and it did happen. When you start getting something right here in this corner and you plug it, ultimately what happens is this tire will start to separate. It'll really start to separate, and it becomes very dangerous, and you could actually have a blowout. And that's what happened with me. I took my truck felt like the tires were out of balance, went to get them balanced, and what happened was the tires started splitting, so I had to buy 2 new tires, and I had to do that. Also, if you have anything in the sidewall, you don't ever want to try to repair anything in the sidewall. You want to replace the tires. So don't try to fix anything if you have a hole or a nail or something in your sidewall. In this case, I know I've got something in here, and I'm going to show you how to find it and then how to fix it with a plug tool. But before we do that, we need to look at the tools we need to repair our tires, and let's take a look at that right now. Okay, so before you get started, the tools you're going to need to plug your own tire, I'm going to go through. This is kind of like a put together case that I've came up with. There is a link in the description if you want to buy a full set on Amazon. It has everything you're going to need, but basically what you're going to need is you will need a tire gauge. I have 2 of them here. You're going to need a set of needle nose pliers. You need some rubber cement. It's bonding agent. It's kind of like a rubber cement. You're going to need tire plugs. And then you're going to need, I've got 2 sets here, but basically you're going to need a set of tools. And so this is basically it's a plunger. This is how we're going to puncture the tire completely, rear it out, get it cleaned out, get the hole cleaned out so we can put the plug in it. And then the next item you're going to need is the insertion tool. And so we will put a plug in between here, coat it with the cement, and we're going to plunge this in and put the plug in the tire. You're going to need that. And then another thing you're probably going to need is, I like to keep this little case around. This little case, I have extra valve covers. I also have a valve stem tool and some extra valve stems. And then and this little case came with another little tire pressure gauge. So we have the black ones, we have the chrome ones, and it's just a little case that you can pick up. But again, if you buy a case, buy a full kit off Amazon, it'll have everything. Lastly, is if you're at home fixing your tire, you're going to want any kind of a spray bottle with soapy water. So this is a combination of hot water and Dawn dish soap. And I'm just using an empty bottle from a shower cleaner. So the bottle doesn't matter, but you want hot soapy water, and I'll show you in a minute. Now, if you don't have this because you're on the side of the road or whatever, obviously you're not going to have that. You have to feel over the tire with your hands, try to find that hole or that leaky spot or that nail with your hand if you don't have the soapy water. But this is the kit you need. Again, a full kit available on Amazon, link in the description, that you can keep in your car, and you'll have it if you're on the side of the road. So let's get started plugging this tire. All right, so I've showed you the tools you need. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find where the screw is or where the leak is in this tire using a spray bottle full of soapy water. Now, I have already pre-positioned to make this a little bit faster. I do know where the leak is, but the tire is dry right now. So I'm going to spray this soapy water. What you would do is you would just spray evenly across your tire all the way down like this or like this until you find bubbling. It'll start to bubble where there's an air leak. And so I know where it's at right here. It's actually right here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in a little tighter. I'm going to spray this on that so you can see it. And then I'm going to show you how you fix this. And actually I can hear it. Since I sprayed some on there, it's squealing pretty loud. I can tell. I see it bubbling up. It looks like there's a huge nail in there. So we're going to get that out and get it fixed. Yep, so you can kind of see it already. It's right here. But if I spray on there really good, see how that's bubbling out? And if I didn't notice this, what I do is you spray evenly across the tire, pull the car forward a little bit, spray evenly, and eventually you're going to see bubbling like this, and that's going to tell you that you have a leak. So obviously there's a nail right here or something in there, so I have to get that out. And so what you want to do first of all, now before you get started, it's very, very, very important that you air your tire up to the full specs, right? It's 35 PSI, 40 PSI. And actually, because you're going to be losing air during the process, I overinflate. So my tires, I keep 40 PSI. I aired this tire up to 50 PSI, and now I'm going to go ahead and get this out. But the first thing I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to find my needle nose, and I just need to pull this out. So, but before I pull this out, I know for a fact it's going to start leaking pretty good. Now, after I pull this nail out, I'm then going to need my plunger tool. And what I'm going to do is after this comes out, I'm going to stick this down in that hole, turning it, and I'm going to get it clear down in there until I'm ready, until it's all, veered out, cleaned out, and I'm ready for the plug. So before I even get started, I'm going to put the tool here. Let's put the vise or those there. I get everything ready before I do this. So I've got that. Now I'm going to take a plug out of here. So I'll try to do as much of this on camera as possible. They're very, very sticky. And I just want to pull a plug out. Like I said, I'm going to try to do as much of this on camera, but some of it I may not be able to. Now you want to thread this through your plunger tool or your insertion tool. I guess they call it an insertion tool. They don't really have, there's not really specific names. And so you get that started, and that's tough. It's tough to get in there. So what I do is I get it started, and then I take my needle nose and I grab it and I pull it. And it's not, sometimes it's tough. It doesn't want to go through, but you want to get it halfway. Okay. Like that. It's halfway through. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do anything with this, but once I'm going to pull this, I'm going to use the plunger, clear it out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this plug with rubber cement before inserting it in there. And then the other thing you're going to need that I didn't show you that I need to stop and go get is you're going to need a knife or some type of sharp razor blade to cut this off, the excess off. So let's pause for a second. I'll come back. I got to grab my pocket knife. I'll be right back. Okay, so I got a pocket knife. It's really sharp. This is the one I'm going to use. So that's how I'm going to cut things off when I'm done. So we'll put this off to the side. Now it's time to get started because this is what you've wanted to see. So it's time to actually repair this. There's a screw, or looks like a nail head. And so the first thing I need to do, and it's really in the edge of that tread, so it's not easy to get to, but I've got to get it out of there. Coming out. Now I got to get ready. It's getting ready to come out, and then I'm going to be using this. Here, pop out. See that screw or that nail? So now we're going to find the hole. And I'm really pushing down, twisting, because I really want to work this thing all the way down in there. Okay. It's all the way through. And I'm twisting it to clear it out. And then before I pull that out, now I want to get my plug ready. And I want to just add, and I got to be honest with you, it's one of the toughest ones I've ever dealt with. So I'm just covering. So I'm just covering everything with some rubber cement. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that out and immediately insert this, push it down in and twist it. We'll push this one in, all the way in there. We'll twist it and pull out. Just like that. Now we have the plug, and see how we got some excess right there? That is where we're going to grab our knife, and if there's any excess, we're just going to cut it flat with the tire. Careful not to cut your hand. Just flat with the tire. And the reason we want to do that is as we're going down the road, we don't want it to pull itself out. So now, tire's plugged, plug's in there, got some of this goo here. This is all going to set and harden. My suggestion is let your car sit about 15-20 minutes. Let this stuff kind of harden and take hold, and then you're good to drive. So guys, that's how you can repair your own tire using a plug kit. You can pick these plug kits up anywhere. AutoZone, any auto parts store, O'Reilly's. You can also get them at Walmart. But like I said, link in the description if you want to pick up a complete kit on Amazon. The complete kits I haven't seen in stores. Usually you can buy the tools and some plugs and everything separate, but really, it's really good to have one of these kits keep in your car. If you can get to a gas station with an air hose, you can do this right at the gas station. So much cheaper. Now, Discount Tire, like I said, if it's something they can fix, they'll do it for free for you because they want you to buy their tires. But if you're stuck, if you need to get this done yourself, you got a flat at home. And this honestly is a lot easier than jacking up the car and putting on a spare tire, honestly. So this is what I would suggest. Hey, I hope this has been helpful for you. I hope you guys can use this and do this yourself in the future. If you've liked this video, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment, and hit that notification bell. You'll know every time I put up another video. Guys, take care. Safe travels on the road. I'll see you next time.